Hey guys, Cajun Reseller here, back at you with another Thrift With Me video. We're gonna hit up about 5 or 6 thrift stores today. There's little Miss Jenna. Let's get started. This is a thrift store I don't think I've ever shown in a video before. This is Francis Thrift Store in Mandeville or Covington, Louisiana. That is one of the items I pick up. It's a remote start for a car, but this one is about an hour away from my house, so I don't typically go to this one unless I'm outsourcing for Amazon, and then I will still, go to thrift stores just for fun, just to see what I can find. But it's just ones that I'm not that familiar with. But this one has a decent toy section, puzzles and games and stuffed animals. I don't actually pick up any at all, but I do look for a little while and try and see. This one is cat friendly, as you'll see in a second. So if you like cats, you should go to this one. Now that might have been worth it, but I have one right now that I bought about a couple months ago, and I still haven't listed it yet or tested it. So I do leave that one on this day. But those I guess those are basically for realistic driving, kind of realistic, whenever you're playing a video game. So those can be fun for little kids to play with as well. I'd never liked the one that I had because I didn't feel like it was that realistic, and it was very reactionary to if you turn, it turns way more than a regular car steering wheel would. So I didn't like playing with that as a kid, but some kids would, and some of the certain branded ones can be worth money. I did pick up some vintage sheets here that were worth some like 20 or 30 bucks, but I don't show those. Here's what I'm talking about. It's cat friendly. There's cats right there. Hi kitties. Jesse and Esme, y'all like the cats. They have a separate cat section within the thrift store, so it does smell like cat as well in some areas. So if you don't like cats, you probably shouldn't go. They have Beanie Babies as well. I'm just showing y'all some of the Beanie Babies. There's rarely any Beanie Babies that are worth money at a thrift store at thrift store prices. Now, if they have them for 25 cents or 50 cents, then yeah, but I think they were charging like $2 or $3. The Mickey item I debated it, but I think they were asking too much. And I think I did Google Lens that. Usually when I'm doing these pans like this, I'm not going to look up the item. Number one, I'm filming on my phone, so it's almost impossible to look up the item. But after, I would go back and look at like Google Lens and stuff like that. I do look at the baseball equipment. I look at the gloves. I don't think I picked up any of these gloves. I could be wrong. I think I picked up 3 or 4 items. I remember 3 of the 4 I picked up. Maybe a glove was the other one I picked up. The gloves would have only been like $3 or $4 at this thrift store. I think they were all the same price. And some of those gloves looked like they might have been decent brands. Louisville Slugger and Rawlings and ones like that. No golf clubs on this day. But I do pick up a golf club cover. I think you might see it at the very end of this video. But yeah, this was a long voiceover for me to talk through. I wasn't sure. I was going to debate if I could get through it or not. But I made it through this voiceover. This is the end of it. Here's a summary of the items I picked up. So thrift store stop number 1. Y'all saw me pick up 1 or 2 items. I think y'all saw me pick up 1. That was what do y'all think about that? An extended thrift with me. Usually I only do like a minute of a clip and then cut to what I found. That was like 3 minutes. Let me know if y'all like that better than the 1 minute and then me talking. But this is one of the items I picked up. It hadn't sold yet. It's a remote start for an older branded car. You can just see by the pictures that those are older cars. Most cars nowadays actually have a remote start already in the car. My car, one of my 2 cars, actually the older of the 2 cars has a remote start. The newer car does not. So who knows how they decide when to put it in. But I have this listed for around $40 or $50 plus shipping, I believe. It would ship in a pretty small box. It's not too big. Now, the one item I did pick up that's already sold is the Superman golf club cover right there for around $33. I think it's like a best offer of $33 for that. It sold pretty fast after I listed it. But yeah, who knows? You never know. Golf club covers can actually sell pretty well. And there weren't many Superman ones available, which was kind of surprising considering Superman's a pretty common character. But that was it for that stop. Remote start and 1 item already sold for $33. Back at Goodwill again. Pua Pillow Pet. Pillow Pet for Pua. I gotta pick it up. It was only $2 or $3. I do pick up the Starbucks mugs as well. If you can see there, they're like 99 cents to $1.99. They're mini Starbucks mugs, but they were a couple of sets. New Zealand and Auckland. Those 2 should sell for around $45. Cusco and Peru have already sold, and the France one's probably worth $20 to $25. I do look at the Plush. Plush were really expensive here. $4.99, $7.99 for that one. Yeah. Whoa. And then I think that one was $7.99 as well. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to ever put a plush that high at a thrift store, in my opinion. But hey, they can ask whatever they want. Those items will just be sitting there forever. Here's a summary of what those are worth. So at this Goodwill, I picked up Pua Pua Pillow Pet Looked like there was a decent sell-through rate. Hadn't sold yet. That was probably like a month ago that I think I picked him up. He's listed for around 25 bucks, so really probably not that great of a pickup once I look back at it. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for him. I don't have the tag on him anymore because he's already listed. But I did find the cool little mini Starbucks mugs. I've sold the bigger Starbucks mugs better in the past than the mini ones. I did sell the Peru and Cusco for like $37, I think. $37 or so. I picked up some small ones, or one small one when I went yard selling with Kayla like a year and a half ago, or almost 2 years ago now. And the bigger ones sold better. I think I picked up 3 or 4 big ones and one little one. The little one only sold for like 12 bucks, but it was able to ship first class. The bigger one sold for like 60. I think one of them sold for, one sold for 30, something like that. Either way, a good pickup there. Those were 99 cents or $1.09 in each, something like that. They were just sitting out on the cart. I guess they just put that cart out. Sometimes it's all about just getting there at the right time at Goodwill. You never know. Whenever it's not a Goodwill bins, I don't stay in Goodwill all day to see new carts come out. So usually if the cart just came out and I get there, I might get lucky and find it. But otherwise, I'm not going to get the newest stock that just came out. But yeah, Pua. And like I said, one item's already sold for 37 bucks from this thrift store. My most recent thrift haul right here. 2 items I picked up. Nope, it's not golf clubs. It's not those Levi shoes, although maybe I should have picked them up. They were in decent condition, but they were $7 as you can see right there. Those are the ones I pick up. Salomon is the brand. They did have a little bit of whatever you want to call it there. I don't think that was damaged. I think it can just be cleaned up pretty easily. They were only $3, which is the reason why I picked them up. There was a decent amount of Haan shoes as well. I haven't had too much luck selling those. At first, whenever I first got into reselling shoes and clothes, everyone's like, "Oh, Haan, you got to pick it up. You know, it sells great." That wasn't the case for me. I guess I just wasn't sourcing the right version of Haan. At one point, I was just like, "Oh, they said Haan. If I see Haan, I'm picking it up." Don't do that. Make sure it's an actual, like, at one point I was picking up every Tommy Bahama and Brooks Brothers I saw. I still have those items now. I haven't listed them, so obviously they haven't sold. But don't always do that. Make sure it's a good pattern or design or size. Like if you have a small Tommy Bahama, it's probably not going to sell. You have the same pattern, but it's in a 4XL. More likely it's going to sell because there's less people that are 4XL. I do look at all the hats here. That one looks kind of cool. I've never had much luck selling hats like that. That Southern Miss hat has been here forever, like forever. No one wants that hat. And there's also some other hats in here, but on this day, all I pick up is the shoes and that little plush that y'all saw, which I thought was going to be worth a lot of money, but it's really not worth too much. The Braves hat, at one point I was going to buy it, and then I looked underneath it, and it looked like it had a bunch of sweat stains and stuff like that. That little crocheted hat may have been worth it. I think hats here are like 50 cents to $1, so they're really not that expensive. So here's a summary of the 2 items I picked up and what they're worth. This is their store I actually just went to a couple of days ago as I'm filming this. I went to this thrift store on Monday, I believe, on the way home from shipping stuff. I did find a couple items that are decently interesting. These shoes only cost $2.99. I think I showed that in the actual clip. The problem with these shoes was one of these little things had come loose. The things that hold the shoe strings, whatever you call them, together, they kind of come loose. I put it back in to the correct spot, but I don't know if it'll stay too well. I gotta do some more experimenting. For $2.99, the brand is Salomon. Salomon's a very good trail running shoe if you can find them. These sell for around $50 if I can make sure they actually that still functions well. But yeah, for $50 or for $3, it was worth the risk for me. They do need a little bit of clean up on the bottom, as you can see right there, but usually $50 plus shipping is not a bad investment for $3, and these actually will sell pretty fast. With the sell-through rate I saw, they'll sell pretty fast. The other item I found, that was at Purple Cow, was this Bendy and the Ink Machine large 16 to 17 inch plush. I thought it was going to be worth a lot more. Sometimes these can be worth decent money. It's worth around, I mean, I will make money. It's going to sell for around $25 to $30 with free shipping, but not as much as I thought. But I only paid $1.99 for it at Purple Cow in Baton Rouge, so not a bad investment there, I don't think. It should, and it'll ship priority mail because it weighs more than a pound. I'm pretty sure it weighs more than a pound, but it shouldn't be too hard to compact him and ship him for pretty cheap money. That's it for that stop. This is Goodwill in Walker, Louisiana. I find this ILIFE. I've never heard of this brand before. It looks like the iRobot from Roomba. It opens up like that, and that's a little trash canister that gets swept into it. So I had to look this thing up just to make sure, but for $7.99, I figured it was probably worth the risk. Now, there is no charger included with it, which is usually not a good thing because it's hard to test them. They said, like, oh, you have 7 days to return it, but I didn't really have any way of testing it, and I haven't even gotten around to listing it yet. But those air filters right there might have been worth it, but I have one that I haven't sold yet, and so I passed on that. The Roku TV, I don't think that's really worth anything. And maybe it is. Tell me if it is. But those Roku don't seem to be worth too much. The streaming devices have kind of gone down in value because there's so many of them available now, and everybody produces them. So just showing you all the rest of the store here. There's some shoes. I'm not sure what brand those were exactly. They were in good condition. Maybe I should have picked them up. I don't remember what the price was. Probably like $7 or $8 at this Goodwill, if I had to guess. There's all the Goodwill junk. Well, some of it's not junk, but most of that's the Goodwill branded stuff that no one wants. Pyrex might have been good, and all the mugs and stuff. I don't really pick up mugs anymore. At the next thrift store, I only pick up one item, but it's another one of these robot vacuums. This one is ILIFE V5S. Probably goes for around $70 to $80 if it works. I gotta find a way to test it and see if it works or not, but it's similar to the Roomba iRobots. You click this thing or press the top and it pops up like this, and then you can just pull out the thing that has the trash in. I need to do a little bit of cleanup on it to make it clean, but I only paid $7.99 for it, so for me it was worth the risk. I don't have a charging station for this. I haven't tried the Roomba charging station to see if it works for this. I doubt it would work, but you never know. And if it doesn't work, I could always part out the pieces, like the sweeping things and the wheels. I did see some people selling that individually. I'd rather sell it as a unit and not have to part it out, but we'll see what happens there. But either way, a good investment for me for paying $7.99 and turning it into $70 or $80. And if I part it out, I might actually get more, but that's just a lot more work to part it out. This is one of the first bowling knives I ever picked up. It's Transport. It's a way to transport bowling balls if you are an avid bowler. It also has gloves for bowling. I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess if you bowl a lot, you kind of want to protect your hands. I also look at the electronics and the blankets, but today at the Purple Cow on Jones Creek, which is a decent store, I go there a lot, as you see in my videos. All I pick up is the bowling ball carrier. Here's a summary of what it's worth. Back at the Purple Cow, where I pick up a bowling item. This is a bowling transport tote, I guess you can call it that. This one holds 2 bowling balls. I probably should not have picked this up looking back in hindsight, because I have to ship it and I have to find a box to ship it in. And the profits aren't exactly as great as I thought they were going to be, but I mean, I paid $3.99, yeah, $3.99 for this, so it's not that big of a loss. I will make money on it once it sells. It's just going to be a pain to ship, and it's only selling for like $40 plus shipping, somewhere in that range. Oops, sorry about the noise, but only $40 plus shipping for that. It's still profit, but would you have picked that up for $4, potentially turn it into $40 plus profit, pending you have to ship it in a huge box? And the sell-through rate was probably, once I get it listed, which is still not listed, it'll probably sell in like 2 to 3 months. So is it worth holding on to an item that big? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now let's go on to the last thrift store. This is a thrift store I don't really frequent very much, but anytime I see Octonauts and Halo and Ninja Turtles and a vintage plush / baby item, I pick it up. So those are 4 items I pick up. 2 of those 4 have already actually sold. So that's a really good thing. This is probably a couple months ago now that I've gone to this one. I didn't post it right away because the Humpty Dumpty was kind of pending. Someone said they were going to return it because it wasn't the one they thought that it was. They got it for their little kid, and it wasn't the one that they thought it was. So, but that has since been cleared up, and I've gotten my money for it. So, take you around to the rest of the store. This is St. Vincent de Paul on Plank Road in Baton Rouge, if you're in the area and want to go check it out. But they have a bunch of media and other stuff. Here's a summary. This last thrift store is St. Vincent de Paul up in North Baton Rouge. I'll stop by there every once in a while. For some reason on this day, they had a decent amount of toys. Y'all saw like the Octonauts, the Humpty Dumpty vintage plush, and the Ninja Turtles. A couple of those have already sold. The Ninja Turtles sold for $20 on Mercari right there. $1 each, can't pass it up. The Humpty Dumpty sold for $50. Best offer accepted at $50. The buyer said they were going to return it and never did. So the money was released to me, and although it shows returned on my eBay, I never got the item back. And as far as I know, eBay never took the money out of my account. I don't think they did. I don't know. The buyer at one point asked for my actual address and said they were going to ship it back there because I couldn't get the return label to work. But it's me. It's mine now. And then an Octonauts, actually I'm surprised that hasn't sold yet. I need to go back in and look at the price on it. But usually Octonauts is a great brand to pick up, especially new in the packaging. If you ever see Octonaut stuff, they have plush, they have toys like that, and in general, they go for a decent amount of money. Kawaii, I think, is one of the names. Barnacles, maybe is one. I don't remember exact names. I never saw the show or watched it, but I know that if you see it and it's decently priced, you should pick it up. And that's it for this Thrift with me, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, comment with your favorite item out of all those items. Mine's probably the golf club cover Superman because it's cool and it sold super fast. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks for watching.